Boys, we're back, and in this video we are going to be ranking the top 10 non-EX cards. Okay, so in this video I've snuck in a few of my favorites, the cards that I really like, but these are the top 10 I really think are the best, especially when you get up to the top of this ranking. So I've got some honorable mentions as well. There's a lot of good cards. I think there's a lot of good non-EX cards, and you can easily destroy people with non-EX cards. You really don't need them. Like, having a card that gives up 2 points is like, it's a pretty big like liability, to be honest. Like, you don't need EX cards. Obviously some are really good, but you can build decks without them and you can be completely fine. So these are the best cards I think in the game that aren't EX cards, your budget cards, stuff that you probably have that you might be able to build decks around. So let's just get into it. So number 10, Greninja. This card is so fun. This might be the funnest card in the entire game to play. Whether it's top 10 or not, I think it is. Some people might not, but I think this card's awesome. This card is so fun that I had to put it in the top 10. Just 60 damage for 2 energy is not the best, but when you take its ability, you can do 20 damage to any other Pokemon on your opponent's side each turn is like amazing. So that's 2 for 80, which is pretty solid. But then you can distribute that damage to anywhere you want. So you can build a deck around like any card, right? And let's say like you're Machamp. You want to build a Machamp EX deck and you put Greninja in there. Would that work? Probably not, but this is just an example, right? You're like 20 damage off killing Mewtwo EX. But with this, all you have to do is just hit that Mewtwo in the back once, and then all of a sudden that's in range of your Machamp EX. This is just like an example of things that this card can do that puts other cards in range for you to one-hit KO stuff, and it's awesome. This card is so good, it is so fun. I really like this card. Number 9 is Dragonite. This card, once you get set up and you're good to go and you get 2 Draco Meteors off, you probably just win. Like this is another card that is so fun to play as well. Just watching the Draco Meteors go off and just blow up 2 cards at once is like so satisfying. This card is awesome. The HP is pretty good. You did get one shot by like Mewtwo with Giovanni, but other than that, like, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's really slow though, so you need to like pair it with a card that can like store. And spoiler, one of those will be on the list, but it's not the one you think. Number 8, and this is my sleeper pick. This is a pick that I think is one of the best cards in the game that I don't see anyone talking about, and it's Jolteon. Jolteon's sick, dude. Jolteon's one of the best cards. Just 2 energy and you're going to average 80 damage, right? You flip 4 coins, you do 40 for each head. I don't really like cards that have a coin flip attached to them. But when you have one that's 4 coins, it's way more consistent. It's very unlikely that you're going to do 0 damage. And just averaging like 80 damage is really good, and then you can still high roll it. This card's just awesome. The HP is a little bit low. It's not terrible, but it is pretty low. And the retreat cost is good. Like, just being 1 is awesome. I really like this card. It's another card that is just so fun to play as well. Whether it's top 10 or not, I think it is. It's one of my favorite cards. I love it. I think it's slept on, so if you got this Jolteon, try it out because it's epic. But number 7, the electric card I think is just a little bit better, is probably Raichu. Raichu is just so good. Like, if you get 2 Thunderbolts off in one game, then like you're set. Like you've won. Like, you've absolutely won. You can set this up to just absolutely sweep teams at the end, and like it's dominant. Like 140, you can one-shot Mewtwo with Giovanni. It's so good. It is so awesome, especially pair it with Magneton and Lieutenant Surge, so you can just get 2 Thunderbolts off. Like, it's awesome. This is another card that's so fun. The damage is so good, especially for a card that isn't an EX card. So this is awesome. The only downside to this and Jolteon is that they're in the Pikachu pack, which kind of sucks. But I love this card. Number 6, Kabutops. This is another card that is so good, dude. Just having 1 energy for 50 damage is okay. Like, it's not the best, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And you pair it with the fact that you heal all the damage that you do. This thing is just a beast. Like, if you cannot one-shot this card, you are probably not killing it. Like, it's probably just going to stand there, like, pretty bad into Charizard, maybe Mewtwo. Other than that, like, it kind of just destroys everything. Like, it's so awesome. Maybe Venusaur as well. Probably doesn't have the... Venusaur's interesting. I don't know who would win a Venusaur match. Probably Venusaur because this is weak to grass. But other than those 3 cards, like, this thing just destroys everything. This card's so cool. Just just being able to heal all the damage you do, and like you use Giovanni to boost your damage up to 60, you still heal the 60. If something's on 10 HP and you still hit him for 50, you still heal 50, you don't heal 10. Like, this card's awesome. Almost made the top 5. But in number 5, we have Frostmoth. This card is like elite. This is probably the easiest card to get on this whole list, and like it's awesome. Like, just getting a free turn, just one free turn can like literally just win you the game, and then getting 2 or 3, which this card can easily do. It's so good. Like, it is, this card, like, it will win you games single-handedly, win you games, and if it doesn't, it's gonna store enough for you to build up something in the back, and then that card's gonna win you the game. And number 4, Gardevoir. This card is really, really good, and you could easily argue for this to be number 1, but the top 3 picks are cards that I really, really like. This card is going to be good now, and it's going to get better and better after each set that comes out, because there's always going to be Psychic Pokemon, and this is going to be able to buff up every single one of them. It's going to just charge energy onto it, and it's going to make every single Psychic card that comes out like useful. Like, you're going to be able to use every single Psychic card because of this card. It's going to be very hard to find a Psychic card that is really bad, and if it is, it's because it's like stage 1 like bat Pokemon that does like 60 damage for 2 or something like terrible. That card sucks. But any card that has like a high attack cost with like good damage is going to be really good because of this card. Number 3, Kangaskhan. This is the card I was talking about with Dragonite. This is the best store card in the game in my opinion. It is better than Weezing. I don't want to hear people say that Weezing's better. It's not. This card is better. Basic 100 HP is insane. 1 attack cost for potential 60 damage is insane. Even if you get 0, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. All this card is there to do is just soak hits, and then if it gets damage off, that's just a bonus. And like getting 30 to 60, if you get two turns where you do 60 damage, like, you're so far ahead of your opponent, you're probably just going to win the game. But this thing is very hard to kill. It takes like three turns to kill, and while you're doing that, you're doing good damage and building something up in the back. This card's insane. You can put it in every single deck because it's a normal type. You can put any energy onto it. This card's elite. It is probably the best basic normal type Pokemon, except for the one at number 2, and that is Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd is insane. This is very similar to Kangaskhan, except it's like the aggro version, right? This thing just comes in, does 40 damage consistently for 1 energy, and if you go on turn 2, means you can attach the energy and attack on turn 2 because you can't attack on turn 1. This is the best card in the game for going on turn 2, and Kangaskhan is probably the best going on turn 1. This thing's not the best on turn 1 because if it takes a hit, it doesn't have a lot of HP, but if you can go on turn 2 and you attack first with this thing, it's game changing. Like, this card's insane. I have beaten a deck that had like a bunch of other cards in it, but it had like a Gengar EX and a Mewtwo EX and a Gardevoir, just because I led with this thing and I was going second, and just the pressure I put on them, they kept forcing them to swap out, and they never got a chance to build up their energies, and then they just forfeit. Like, this card is so good. It's so fun. You can put it in any deck as well. I have Kangaskhan or Farfetch'd in literally every single deck, I think, that I make. Maybe there's like a few exceptions, but this card's insane. If you can get this as soon as you can. But the number 1 card, this is my favorite card, and I said this was the best card from like the very beginning. Since like that little launch thing in New Zealand that they did, I said this card was the best in the entire game. No one was talking about it at all. I think people are starting to catch on to it now. I think it might have won a tournament. But this is a card that I was saying from the beginning is the absolute best, and that is Alakazam. This is the best card in the entire game, not just non-EX cards. Out of all the cards in the entire game, except for maybe Misty, the trainer card, this is the best card in the entire game, without a doubt. The damage that this thing does is absolutely absurd. It is like disgusting how much damage this thing can do. And just for 3 energy, you're doing at least a minimum, probably 90. Right, because your opponent's probably going to have at least 1 energy on their card at all times. So 3 for 90, not great, right? But if they have 2 energy, it goes to 120, and that's pretty good. 3 for 120, that's Machamp EX stuff. That's Machamp EX value from this card, and all they have to do is put 2 energy on the opposing card, and that is like very common. And because this game's like so basic right now, most cards have like 3 to 4 energies on them. And this thing just rips them a new arsehole. Like, I'm telling you right now, this card's insane. If you have this card, you need to build it. And I think a lot of people think like their first instinct might be to build it with Gardevoir. I don't think you do that. I don't think you can have it with Gardevoir. I use mine with Farfetch'd. I just lead with Farfetch'd, let it go in there, do some damage. You can put Kangaskhan in there if you want to, and then I just build up the Alakazam in the back while I'm doing that. And it's such a good card. It's my favorite deck by far. The first deck ever made, and this is just a beast of a card. And now we'll get to the honorable mentions, because there are some really good cards I just missed out, but these are the ones I think are like really, really strong. Still, the Weezing didn't make the top 10, but it's still a very good store card. I think just Kangaskhan is better. There are a few exceptions where Weezing is better, and I think that is when you can, if you have the deck space to run the trainer card that brings it back to your hand, and the ability to run a multicolored deck with energies, or just running a dark deck and you can attack with Weezing, then I think Weezing might be better. But Kangaskhan is just so consistent. If you had to pick up one of them, get Kangaskhan, because Kangaskhan you can put in any deck. Weezing, you still can, but you need a hell of a lot more slots to make Weezing work. With Kangaskhan, you just need 2 Kangaskhan and that's it. Weezing, you need 2 Weezing, 2 Coughings, and then I think it's Koga, the trainer card. So that's like 6 slots just to kind of stall, when you can Kangaskhan can do just as good for 2. So Venusaur is so good. The problem with Venusaur and why it is not in the top 10 is because this card would be broken, maybe the best non-EX card, if you could consistently get it out when you've only lost 1 card, right? Because if you've already lost 2 cards, as soon as this card dies, you lose the game. So if you're at the point where you have to build up the Venusaur, and when it dies you lose, you might as well just play the EX one, right? Because it's bulkier, it does more damage, and you're not getting the value of like not giving up 2 points, because when it dies you lose anyway. But if you can build this up, maybe in a deck that can stall long enough to where you can get 2 Venusaurs out and then ready, then this card is even better than the EX, but I don't think that happens very reliably, even at all. Then Centiskorch and Charizard, we'll talk about them together. I think these cards are like really good. I think these are slept on like a lot, especially Centiskorch. Only discarding 1 energy for 130, you can power with Moltres so easy. It's a stage 2, so it's not like Charizard, we have to evolve it twice. I mean, stage 1, so you have to evolve it once. It's really good. The only downside to it is it doesn't one-shot Mewtwo with Giovanni. Other than that, it's insane. It's such a good card. It is so fun. It dominates people. It's really, really good. Charizard, pretty much the same thing, except the only downside, the numbers are a bit better, but you have to evolve it one extra time compared to Centiskorch. But the discard 2, it also sucks, but you just play it like you would like a normal Charizard. And then as long as you can protect your Moltres and not let them die, then this card has potential to even be better than the EX, right? Because if your Moltres goes down, you just need 1 more point to lose. At that point, you might as well just be playing the EX, right? Because it's better. And when you're only giving up 1 point. Because it doesn't matter what dies, right? Once you've given up 2 points, anything could die, you lose. Whether it's EX or a normal card. But if you can protect your Moltres and not let it die, then this is when this Charizard I think could be sneaky, like really good. And then Ninetales is so fast, it's so aggressive. 2 for 90 is like absolutely insane. That's like Starmie EX damage. The problem is though, you have to give up 1 energy, so it's hard to build up things in the back. It's very good pairing with Rapidash. We all know the Rapidash deck with Blaine. But I kind of want to experiment with this card like Moltres too, and just like stack energies onto it. Protect the Moltres, get this thing in, and just have it attack over and over and over again. And when I have like a bunch of energy stacked onto it, I can still build up stuff in the back, and I don't have to worry about continuously attaching to Ninetales. And I don't have to play it with Rapidash. I want to try that and like see what happens. But this card is just so good, it's so fast, even just in the Rapidash deck, so it's fine. And then Pidgeot is obviously like one of the other cards that's just so fun. Just having a free Sabrina each time the attack is good. Like 2 for 7 is fine, the HP is fine, the retreat cost is fine. Being weak to electric kind of sucks, but you still don't get one shot by Pikachu, so it's fine. It's just a fun card. It's solid. I just couldn't put it up into the top 10 just because I like the other ones more. But these are all really good cards, and then Meowth is like a sneaky good pick. Like it's very similar to Kangaskhan and Farfetch'd. I would only play Mouth when you have like a stage 3 evolution that doesn't require a lot of energy, like Kabutops, right? Because you don't need to store that much. You need to draw cards. Like, you need to get, once your Kabutops is out, then you're good. Like, you're good to go. Once it is out and it's ready, this lets you draw cards. It lets you draw the Kabutops so you can just play it out more consistent. That's like an example of when Mouth is like really, really good. But there's my top 10. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought. In the next video, I'm going to go over how to spend your pack points, because I hear a lot of people talking about giving advice on how to spend pack points, and I have not heard anyone give right advice yet. Like, everyone is saying do completely wrong things. So next video, I'm going to do how to spend your pack points. So stay tuned for that.